Hi, everybody. I'm Michael Potter. I'm founder of Find My Zen. We're very happy to have everybody here today. I have with me Matthew Allen. He is a guru of the social media, as well as how to really get coaches, facilitators, teachers to really think beyond just their offerings, how to create courses, how to create those four-figure offers. That's one of his signature attributes, that he really wants to empower those people that are in that beginning to growth phases of their business. So we figured this is a perfect partnership to bring into the Find My Zen community with everybody that we're looking to support with our ticketing and discovery platform. So today we will be going over social media mastery and kind of going over the marketing and messaging that will actually help you stand out and reach more people, of course, with that, and really create greater impact. Because as we know, your unique voice is what really makes you you, and what we want is you to feel excited about how to be playful with that exploration. So I'm going to turn it over to Matt now, and thank you everybody for being here.
Yes, thanks so much for having me. Happy to be here. Yeah, Michael said a few things that are super important, but one of the basic things is like, this is all about you. It's about you. It's not about you, right? It's about helping our clients. But they're going to hire you for you as wellness coaches in this space, as leaders. We want to show up fully in our power, show up as leaders. And that truly comes from yourself, right? Not who the outside world has told you to be, not what other social media experts, including myself, tell you to be. I offer things to hopefully pull into your power so that you can present that to your audience, rather than catering to, we'll talk about niching a bit, but rather than catering to what you think you should do and all this stuff. Really, again, pulling from your power, and your ideal clients will find you that way, rather than trying to find someone, right? You're the light that attracts your ideal client. So that's really the basis of it. And yeah, we'll kind of talk about how to do that through social media. So I'll pop on my screen here, social media mastery. And let's do it. Thanks again for having me. Super pumped. I'll try to make this interactive, but of course I'm here to teach some stuff. And then maybe it'll probably be a little more interactive towards the end. But I'll be checking in with you guys. So why we're here, you may have seen getting ready for this, or I don't know if you guys are in Find My Zen yet, but social media gives us the ability to create greater impact in the world by getting our message out to more people. However, the old ways we've been taught to show up on social media leaves us blending in with the crowd, feeling unheard, ultimately uninspired to make content, uninspired to continue to show up. But just as I started this, we can reach millions of people potentially. Yet a lot of us are not really excited about creating content, not feeling super genuine about it. And that's too bad, because there are people out there really suffering, right? Suffering with the thing that we can help them with. But we're just blending in with everybody else. And a lot of the old ways, like I was kind of alluding to earlier, niching down, trying to make up some person and trying to create content for this made up person, when in reality, you're the niche, right? You're the evolved version of your client. We're all mostly teaching the path we've been through. And content the same, right? A lot of educational content, just how-tos. We're blending in with everyone else, teaching a lot of the same stuff. So we want to learn how to stand out. Every business in the entire world exists to solve problems. Marketing exists to end suffering for people with those problems that we have the ability to help. Sometimes I get ahead of myself, so I was standing right there. And the goal is not virality or more followers. The goal is to generate desire for our offer. The goal is to, I'd rather have 3 followers a day that would buy my program and work with me so I can help them, rather than going viral and getting a bunch of followers because I ripped my shirt off and jumped off the second deck of my house over here, my apartment, right? Yeah, that might go viral, but what's good in that, right? So by the end of this workshop, my hope is that you will have an understanding of how to stand out from the crowd and have your 5 best content ideas that you are excited to post for the rest of this week, or for going forward, next 5 days. Maybe spread it out. That's cool too. But 5 good ideas. And then before we dive in, I always ask, do I have permission to coach everyone? Comes to yes. Permission is a beautiful thing as a coach. And this is just kind of a side tangent, but I love teaching sales. And I think what a lot of people miss and they feel like they're salesy is because there's not a lot of permission in it. And it starts through the whole sales call. But, when you want to ask a harder question, hey, do you mind if I dive a little bit deeper? I know this can be a touchy subject, but do you mind if I kind of dive into this a little bit more? You get permission, and now people are more willing to dive deeper. And if you're doing sales or if you're coaching, right, going deeper is the best way you can help to really understand people's problems. So, I always like getting permission. Allows people to be more open and ready to learn, ready to open up themselves. All right, drop in the chat. Who do you help? How do you help them? So if you're to give me like a one-liner, maybe a little elevator pitch. My name is Matt. I help online wellness coaches craft their 4-figure offer, lean into their power, and become powerful online leaders. I said power twice. I've been playing with my message, so I messed up a little. But that's the fun in it. Things can always change, and we'll talk about that a lot today. I gotta pull up the chat. And then you don't necessarily have to say your biggest struggle with social media. But I'd much rather know who you help, how you help them. And you know what? Since there's 3-4 of us, screw the chat. Let's just do it live. So why don't we just go around and you can just introduce yourselves. I thought if there was going to be 10 or more people, we would do it in the chat, but Michael's already got it in there. We help solopreneurs in the wellness space get visibility and traction. I love that. Dave, I get to hear you again. Dave, tell me who you help and how you help them.
Yeah, I've been working on this the last week or two as well. And it's something like I help mission-driven humans manage their time and energy and fine-tune their daily habits for optimal physical, mental, and spiritual health.
Nice. Love it. Love it. How did you say how you did it? How you do it?
How do I do that? Using the tools of Ayurveda, Vedic astrology, and nature-based psychotherapy.
Awesome. Love it. Cool. Is it Boonan? You're up.
Yeah. So my name is Boonan, and I'm an adult attachment somatic repair specialist. And I help people repair their sense of self through a lot of somatic and interpersonal practices, both one-on-one, small group, and eventually blooming into, we'll say, larger group formats coming up. And so that's what I do.
Hell yeah. Love it. Love it. And Mariah, if you are with us, if you're able to chat, I'd love to hear what you do. If not, no worries. Listen only mode. Okay, got it. Sweet. I love it. I love working with, I've worked with a lot of personal trainers over the years. I was a personal trainer. That's kind of how I got started, and now expanding into more wellness coaches. And I just love it so much. I was just talking to someone on Instagram, manifestation coach. I'm like, yes, tell me all the manifestation tools. So I just love learning from you guys as well. Super fun. All right. So first we're going to do a little journaling. If you have pen and paper is always good, getting stuff physically down, but if you just want to open up a tab on your computer, that's fine as well. I'm going to start with some journaling. I want you to clear your mind, and I just want you to think of one topic in your expertise, one topic that you fucking love coaching, or that you love educating people on, or what have you done, what have you done that changed your life? Is there like one thing that stands out? You know, man, when I started meditating, that was like game changer for me. Or, you know, fitness coaches out there. For me, when I found CrossFit, I was always bored with the workouts I was doing in the gym. When I found CrossFit, oh baby, finally got that 6-pack, finally lost that extra belly fat. I was excited to go to the gym. I met a community. It's beautiful. So is there one thing in your life that's changed, or is there one thing that stands out that you just love coaching? And remember, don't wait to listen to the outside world on this. All right, I mentioned it before. Not what you're supposed to be doing, what you're supposed to be teaching. Not what you've always done in the past, or what you feel like you should be doing. But if you were to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, maybe 3 deep breaths. Now, what really stands out to you? What is there something that maybe you've thought about teaching that you haven't yet? maybe there's some fear about judgment or something, but deep down, you'd love to teach that. And if you're not sure, you take this time to just brain dump everything. Just throw some shit on paper. Right? Again, if I was a fitness coach, talk about CrossFit and, nutrition and macros and recovery, sleep, drinking water, breath work. And you start dumping all the things you want. And then maybe one will stand out. Maybe you can circle that one. Give you like 30 seconds. And you can, of course, keep going. But I'm going to keep going. Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to move forward. We will come back to that. Okay. So number one, the first thing I want to talk about today, creating content about everything you know is the worst way to stand out and generate leads. Now, like I said, there might be a lot of resistance to this. This is the thing that we've been taught for a very long time. For a very, very long time. Give away all your information and education. You will show your client, you'll show your audience you're an expert, and they'll come knocking down your door. That used to work. That used to work when there was one coach on the block. When you followed one coach on Instagram, they were the first ones doing it. And they showed you all the information. They go, wow, this person's a genius. I want their help. But now there's so many of us. I don't really like to say the market's saturated because I don't actually believe that. If the market was saturated, then everybody would have a coach and nobody would need help and we'd all be good. Right. But education isn't the way to stand out anymore. So I'm going to ask you, do you ever see encyclopedias on the self-help bestseller list? You guys are in the self-help space. You ever see encyclopedias on the bestseller list? Well, but they have all the information. What are you talking about? Why not? No, what you see, I have plenty of books back here. They're all focused on a certain topic. Leadership. I'm trying to think of the books behind me. Right. Very specific part of marketing, branding yourself. Okay. And when you look at some of the fastest people who are growing on Instagram right now, knees over toes guy, Ben Patrick, knees over toes guy. You go to his account. I followed him last fall. He's at about 300,000 followers. He's at 1.4 million now. He's become the only and obvious solution for doing one thing really well, fixing your knee pain. Right? It's right in the name, knees over toes. Knee pain is what he does. And he talks about the same 4 exercises and he's playing basketball all the time. Right? And you go look at his account right now. He'll be pulling a sled, pushing a sled. He'll be doing these astragas, split squats over and over and over. Okay. Liver King. If anyone knows Liver King, I think he's also around 1.3, 1.4 million followers. He does one thing really well. His profile, he's fucking jacked. He is a huge dude. And he's holding up a giant raw liver in his profile picture. And he just eats raw meat. He eats raw liver. Right? He does this over and over in different contexts, but he's eating raw meat all the time. He's jacked. He's huge. You don't think he could teach you how to get a bigger chest, how to lose weight, give you other nutrition advice besides just eating raw liver and raw meat? You don't think he could teach you about recovery and sleep and all that stuff? No. Well, yes, he can, but he doesn't do that. Same with knees over toes guy. He's much leaner than Liver King, but same idea. A lot of us know the Iceman, Wim Hof. You think he could probably help people with a lot more than just breathing and jumping in ice? And yeah, he talks holistically about a lot of stuff, but he's known for one thing: walking up mountains in the middle of winter with no shirt and a bathing suit on, right? Jumping in cold water, all that stuff. He's known for one thing. And the holistic psychologist, you might know her as well. She's like 4 million followers, 5 million followers. She's a psychologist, but she focuses 80% of her content is about like parenting, childhood trauma, things like that. Right? If we look at another spectrum, there's a guy, the angry therapist. His thing is relationships. Right? So they're focusing and getting well known for one thing. And the second part, if this will change. This happened to me last time. Here we go. Niching down and talking about what you think your audience wants to hear is the fastest way to blend in and to feel uninspired about your content, right? So we've been told to imagine this person, pick this person, and where do they live? How much money do they make? Male or female? What's their age range? Those are demographics. And you talk about psychographics. What are their beliefs? What are their values? Right? Do they like nice cars? Do they not value nice cars? Do they need the new iPhone when it comes out? Do they not really care? Like, what are their values in life? Things like that. But that's such a backwards way of thinking. So I'll ask you another question. Do the top musicians write their best songs based on someone else's pain, someone else's loss, someone else's love story, someone else's growth in life? The answer is no. They write it about themselves. They don't ask their audience, what kind of music you guys want to hear? They write the music that inspires them, the music they grew up with. They create their own and write about, their love, the pain they've been through, those types of things. So why are we not doing the same thing with our content? Why are we trying to appease all these other people? Why are we trying to appease this mass amount of people and not get a little bit deeper? We think that our shit's not going to resonate with other people's shit. And that's just not true. Really, you're the evolved version of your client and you already have the answers. A lot of people are struggling to come up with content ideas. I don't know what to talk about. I don't know how to get more specific or more personal. Well, you've been through this shit. So let's talk about it. And when you look at these people, the same examples, Knees Over Toes guy had severe knee pain. They said he wouldn't walk again. Or maybe not walk, but definitely couldn't run again. And now he's two-hand dunking a basketball. Right? So he tells his story and he loves basketball. So he just plays basketball. That's how he shows up online. Yeah, we think, oh no, if I show basketball, but I can help a skier with their knee pain. I can help the parent who's in pain when they bend over, and play with their kids. But I can help that person. Yeah, I know you can. And they'll find you too. They'll find themselves in your story. That's the huge thing. So skier sees Knees Over Toes guy dunk a basketball. Well, geez, if he can heal his knees and dunk a basketball, I'm sure he can help me as a skier. All right, if he can dunk a basketball, I'm sure he can help my knees so I can play with my kids. These people will find you. But we need to get specific first. And this is where your power starts to come out. Right? What do you want to talk about? What are you good at? What do you do? So if you want to stand out and generate leads, the key is to repeat and be memorable. Repeat and be memorable. We're always thinking, I got to come up with a new idea today. All right, I got a list. See this whiteboard over here? Got a whole list of ideas and stuff. But I asked you earlier, oh God, let me drop I was making a reel with my guitar and now it's falling over. We come up with all these ideas, right? I even told you earlier, list everything you know. And then that's what most people try and do. It's like, well, I have so many, I don't even know where to start. I have so many topics. I could teach so many different things. But we don't need to do that. We need to repeat ourselves and be memorable. And I'll tell you why. Right? Having that one core topic that you don't shut up about, but you can say it in different contexts. Right? So giving you some more examples. Okay. I'm giving you examples next. But repeating is one core topic, saying it in different contexts. Being memorable is when someone thinks of you, when they're not staring at their phone, when they're not looking at your content. I want them to think of you when they're suffering in their real life, they're having the pain. Their next thought should be, oh my fucking God, I need to hire Dave. I need Bunan. I need Mariah. Michael, please help me. That should be their next thought. But when we talk about everything, really, we just start to blend in. Right? We're not getting specific. We're not getting known for one thing. So you can picture someone who follows Knees Over Toes guy as my continued example. Someone who's in terrible knee pain. What's their life look like? They wake up, probably check their phone, turn, get out of bed. They put their hands on their thighs and they go, this is going to hurt. My knees are going to hurt real bad right now. And they go, oh, crack, crack, snapple, pop. Oh my God. Yep, that hurt. And they're doing that every day. And then one day, because they've been following Needs Over Toes guy, it hurts so much. And they go, this is enough. I need to hire a Needs Over Toes guy. That's it. Right. The next thought isn't, I need to solve this pain and let me start Googling personal trainers. Let me start Googling physios. No, I don't want that to happen. If you're doing your marketing right, it should think of you right away. Holistic psychologists, right? 80% of our content, I didn't do the numbers, 78% of our content is parents and children, right? And you've been following her enough, a lot of parents, they get in a fight with their kid again. Their kid doesn't listen to them. God, you know what? Maybe I should just sign up for a holistic psychologist, whatever her offer is, right? That's the next thought. Not, I need to look for someone who can help me with my kid's emotions, my relationship with my kid. I want them thinking of you. Same thing with all these examples, right? So when these people are finally ready to hire a coach, who are they going to hire? If they're following you, it damn well better be you. So one core topic to repeat. I've kind of gone over this, but Knees Over Toes guy, right? It's knee pains. That's why I asked you before what you guys do and how you help them. It's solving knee pain to do the things you love, right? Wim Hof. It's like cold baths to regain your inner power. Holistic psychologist will cure your childhood trauma so you can heal yourself, live a happier life. Liver King is ancestral living to get out of pain. And he's talking about general pain. Now, we do like to get more specific. These people I mentioned have millions of followers. When you have millions of followers, you can start to break rules. They can be a little bit more broad. The best way to stand out is to really get specific. And I'll talk about that in a second, but it's your job as a marketer to show them that your way is the way. This is the way, right? Because again, when we look at information education, well, we got Google. So we have all the information at our disposal, but why are people still suffering? It's not information people need. It's hiring you guys as coaches, right? It's one trusted source so that they can get your support and implementation. They have someone they trust say, hey, right? I'll keep giving the personal training example because it's just very easy for a lot of people to grasp, but nutrition, right? I'd say a lot of people know what they need to be eating and what they shouldn't be eating for the most part, yet they're still eating crap food. Why is that? Right? It's not necessarily information. They could go Google a diet, yet they still fall off and don't follow it. So there's a lot of reasons, maybe potentially why, but ultimately, if they hired you and paid money, and then you said, here's what to eat, now they trust you. Not, is it the celery diet? Is it keto? Is it paleo? Should I be fasting? I don't know what's right for me. And I don't stick to any of them. Right? So it's not education. So I'm curious, what did you guys write? The one thing that you love to coach and teach. What's the one thing? And we could go around. Actually, before I do that, let's do these other questions, and we'll kind of go around all at once. Make this interactive and kind of work through some stuff. The one thing you love to coach and teach. What does learning this one thing do for your client? So my example, I know that when my clients, I've seen it from my coaching. We do mindset, we go through a lot of blocks, but something about that 4-figure offer, when we craft their 4-figure offer, put all their information on paper, organize it, they say it's worth $2,000 and it'll be 90 days, whatever. It's always your choice. It's an example. At the end of that module, they go, holy shit, let's go. I'm ready to market. I'm ready to talk about this thing. I am powerful. I have a lot to offer. Then the marketing starts to take off. They get on sales calls. They're not afraid to say it's $2,000 anymore. Where before they were afraid to say $499. So what does learning how to craft a 4-figure offer do? Well, it helps you be confident on social media. And then here's a trick you guys can do. So that. Write this down and then write so that after. You keep writing so that until you hit the end. Crafting your 4-figure offer helps you become really confident on social media so that you can post great content 5 times a week, so that you can get in front of more people, so that you create desire for your coaching service, so that you can change more lives, so that you can make more money. When good people make good money, they can do great things. So what does your client really want? Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to sit through another fucking training. And I'm sure you guys, I hope you guys are enjoying this. But if you didn't have to do this, wouldn't that be great? If you just run your business and crush it and get all the clients you wanted and live where you wanted and do all that stuff, right? Nobody wants another training. Nobody wants your 5 modules. Nobody wants to have one-on-one calls with you. Nobody wants your app. Nobody wants more breathing exercises and all that stuff. Yes, we got to do it all because it's required. But what they really want is what? You tell me. More money? Better relationship with their wives and kids? To stop feeling so fucking bad all the time? Which means they don't show up to work excited? Which means they get passed over for the raise? Which means they don't make the money they want? Which means they can't take their kids on vacation? What is it they really want? And I kind of talked about this, but what pain does learning this free your client from? And again, same idea. This crafting a 4-figure offer stops my clients from this endless cycle of feeling like they need to market. God, it's so hard to get 3 clients to sign up for my $399 program, but that's only $1,200. That barely covers rent. I need to keep getting more clients. How exhausting is that? You burnt out yet? All you want to do is serve your clients, but you can't serve your clients because you're not even making enough money to pay rent. You see, so what pain does learning this one thing free your client from? And then you can ask the same question. None of this stuff is bad. If you answer it one way and then you say, so that, and you have more to answer, this is all the content that we're coming up with, right? If you ask yourself, it's kind of the 5 ideas I have there. If you ask yourself, so what, 5 times, you should have 10 ideas right now. So I'll say it one more time, right? Learning that 4-figure offer, it frees my client from not being able to serve their client as good as they want to. Okay, that's one idea. It frees them from the pain of burning out and feeling like they always have to market themselves. That's another idea. Right on we go. And test everything. I'm gonna finish this presentation and we could do some interactive stuff. But test everything. So I know I've told you, all right, now pick one client. Pick one topic. Well, if you haven't been posting, or even when I said about holistic psychologists, but really all these people, maybe they've figured it out, right? They have millions of followers, so they're just rolling with it. But this should be like, maybe start with 50% of your content and the other 50 is other ideas. Because ultimately we do want to meet our client where they're at. And, if I was trying to help corporate people leave corporate, I've tried this. This is why I know this. Leave corporate, become an entrepreneur, and teach the thing that they love. And I'm telling them, the one thing I love teaching is the 4-figure offer. I can't speak to someone who's still working in corporate. They've never invested in themselves. They don't know what it's like to take an online program. They're not even at a place where they can imagine quitting corporate and being like, oh, $2,000 for this thing that I'm kind of passionate about, right? But I might think that's what I want to talk about. So let's test it to our audience. Let's see what's actually resonating. And they go, okay, this isn't resonating. Then I would test some other stuff with corporate people. And again, I did this for a little while, found a lot of resistance, didn't love it. So I moved on, but I tested it. And what I found for them was like, they want, how do I find my passion? That was their biggest thing. How do I find my passion? I'm like, I don't know, just fucking try shit. That's what I did. Rode my bike cross country, did CrossFit, did photography. Now, somehow I'm a business mentor. How the fuck did that happen? I just tried shit. All right, so they all wanted to know how to find their passion. So I made some posts about passion, and you'll notice if a lot of you, a lot of people use Instagram, but a lot of social medias have tools you can use. But you can go under social media, you can hit insights if you're a business or a creator account, right? Don't be whatever that's called, a personal account. Business or creative, I recommend being a creator. I think a business, they'll block you from using fun music and shit. There's really no other benefit as far as what I've seen. But you can hit insights. You can go to your posts and you can filter by saved in the last year. And it will literally show you what your clients are bookmarking. Right. And if I read these to you, this one is how to make $5,000 next month as a personal trainer. You know what that post is about? Guess. Who wants to guess? Creating a 4-figure offer. You got it. You guys knew it. Right. But then the next one's about how to get people thinking of you offline. I said that earlier. This post like from a year ago. I've been saying this shit for a while. Right. So half this stuff's about content. Half this stuff is about creating your 4-figure offer. So I'm like, cool. I kind of have two options. Do I want to be the content guy? Do I want to talk about 4-figure offer? I truly believe content is great, but people still struggle to do it until they create their 4-figure offer that they're pumped about, that they have an offer that they're really excited about, that they'll be like, I don't care about the judgment anymore because I have this offer. I know I can help people. Okay. I know I'm on a long rant, but hopefully this is making sense. We want to just test stuff. So whatever your first idea is, let's lean into that, right? That's coming from your personal power without listening to the outside world. Let's see if that one thing starts to stick and we can start saying it in different ways. Okay. I'm going to come back to this and we're going to go over some of this with you guys. But I just wanted to finish with this. So what you start with is never what you end with. And messaging is like your relationship with your best friend. You don't tell someone your best friends the first time you meet, right? Thinking of someone as your best friend is like your content is someone being like, I'm ready to buy, right? Waking up and going, I need to hire a knees over toes guy. I need to hire Matt. All right. That's that moment, but it doesn't happen all at once. But we think we got to make this perfect piece of content. Oh my God, no one's liking this stuff. Cool. Awesome. You made a content that no one liked. Now, you know, either it was a bad headline, it was a crappy picture. I don't like to blame the algorithm, but sometimes the algorithm can screw you. Or it's like, let's try it again. So this relationship with your best friend, it takes many meetings, many conversations, and it evolves over time. Your messaging can evolve, just like you're evolving. The more people you work with, you'll start to realize, like, actually, when I work with, the last 5 clients I worked with, they really kind of had a block here. Let me bring that to my audience on social media and see if I can break that block for them. Maybe they'll have an aha moment and go, holy shit, right? I need Matt. I need Bunan. So it takes many meetings, conversations. We don't have to get this right the first time. And just like I think I say this, right? With your best friend, all of a sudden, it's like that stepbrothers moment. Did we just become best friends? Yup. Right? You want to make guacamole? And all of a sudden just happens. You don't have to think about all the reasons why you're best friends. And you don't remember every meeting with your best friend. There are beautiful memories, laughter. Maybe you did a vacation together. Maybe you went to the ball game. You'll never forget those. Maybe there's just like a night on the couch. You guys hung out and watched a movie. You don't remember it. And you don't remember it because guess what? You don't remember it. But you do remember those beautiful times. Those moments you jumped in the river in Golden, Colorado together. Freeze your buns off, right? Those are the things you remember. And that's the same thing with your content. People are going to come back for the stuff that blew their minds, that they really loved, that they went, oh my God, that's it. That's what I need to hear. And it happens again and again. And so what we're doing here is we want to teach, blow their minds with some teaching, give them some small wins. We want to connect and go deeper as well, which a lot of people miss. And then you stand up for what you believe in. So I just recorded a reel. I was running earlier today, and I wanted to talk about why I moved out of New York City, because it's just a toxic place to be in. It's all about your corporate job, climbing the ladder, making money, retiring at 65. Awful. I hated it. I had to get out of there, but it was killing me. And I had to find a place that could support, living or working to live, not living to work. And I found that in Colorado. So I just told that story on a reel. It has nothing to do with my 4-figure offer. It has nothing to do with creating content. It has nothing to do with getting better at sales. But there are people out there who have also left the place they grew up in. And they're gonna be like, oh, dude, me too. I'm totally with you on that. And we just create a connection. And you work with people you want to be like. You work with people, right? You've heard know, like, and trust probably before. That's how you create know, like, and trust. With that connection. So that was a little tidbit, but let's go back here. I want to check in with you guys. I'll work backwards. Bunan, was some of your ideas. Did you get a bunch of ideas written down? How does it feel right now?
Feels pretty good so far.
Awesome.
And teaching people about like polyvagal, what embodied safety actually feels like, and like
Wait, let me pause you.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you just said.
Fucking A.
Do you think your clients feel the same way? What the hell is this guy talking about?
Yeah, well, we can say the embodied safety of what does it feel to actually be safe at home in our body? Like that's
Yes.
really what lights me up, and how do we like inhabit ourselves in a way that we can feel really connected with other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. And I want you to keep going, but I want to remind you guys, the brain is taking up the most calories in our body, right? All the time. And when you're scrolling on Instagram, and it's so easy to get the next thing, the next awesome thing, right? See your favorite band, be on vacation through someone else's eyes, right? See some sexy bodies, whatever you're scrolling through. And when you say stuff like whatever you just said, polyvagal, your brain has to think, you lost them. So I want to remind you to talk to your audience like they're in 5th grade. And how would you talk to a 5th grader? So it's awesome. So tell me, being safe in your own body and feeling like you're at home, actually, let me ask you first. What's one way you would teach that?
Of teaching like a few moments of check-in with ourselves, of taking time to take some deep breaths, arrive right here, and just do a little bit of sort of mindfulness meditation on what am I actually feeling right now and how am I feeling.
Nice. I love
Ask
that. Love that a
myself,
lot.
like, do I feel safe?
Asking the question. Yes. Nice.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, are they not feeling safe all the time? Are there moments where all of a sudden they don't feel safe?
There'll be moments for many people throughout the day where they don't feel safe, and we can ask that question as a way to start to come back to that place of feeling safe in ourselves.
Cool. What is a moment that somebody wouldn't feel safe?
Possibly after like being in traffic, or if they've just had a little bit of disagreement with their partner. Something like a big conversation at work or something like that, like something that we're leading into, and we want to really take a moment to come in and check in with ourselves, see where we're at, and start to do some of the work to make sure we're in a really, really comfortable place in our system. Because our lives, as you referenced at that New York piece, our lives are so geared to be so active, and we really have to take the time to sort of downshift, come here, and then we're actually more effective at what we're doing in life.
Yes.
When we're safe here.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so we're gonna get specific now. Are you married?
I'm not, no.
Have you been in relationships? Have you fought with your partner before?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay. Tell me what what exactly are you fighting about that maybe has caused you in the past
Mhm.
to not feel safe in your own
Um,
body?
Yeah, not being understood or being like interrupted inside of conversations, and it sends my little ones off into protecting themselves.
Is there anything you specifically fight over? Do you remember?
Okay, it's been a while.
Mhm.
Travel used to be a thing for sure. Yeah.
What about travel? Where are you going? When? How long?
Um, I've had a few partners where they just had their own travel trauma, and they would get activated, and if I wasn't really paying attention, like my system would get activated because we're connected in those ways. And so there's a piece of like being able to see somebody else get their system get activated around something and be like, oh, okay, let me slow my own process down, make sure I'm real comfortable here, and then I can hold them and get them through their process of say travel.
Yeah. Let me ask you again.
Yeah.
What specifically
Uh-huh.
caused you guys to start fighting? Is it, all right, we're getting on the plane and they're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And you're like, what? We paid all the money. And then you start fighting. Like, what exactly happens
Mhm.
with travel?
Um, yeah, so if I have a different time frame on, like I can be a little more loose and fluid in my travel plans versus where my partner is a little, she needs to know things like multiple days ahead of time, of where it's like, okay, the flight's lined up, the travel's lined up, that we have the car, we know when we're getting back, and I can be a little bit more day of.
Okay.
Like
Love
it's-
it. I'm very much the same way as you. And my girlfriend just planned this whole road trip throughout May. And I'm like, I'll just hop in the car, tell me when. So I'm with you on that. And then can you tell me another way you start fighting and you're not feeling in your body? Can you say that in a different way?
Yeah. Yeah, noticing if I'm starting to get real argumentative, getting real defensive, and getting just like real, like we can say really in my head, like I'm really trying to defend and protect myself from this person that I love, that loves me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Okay.
Uh,
This is perfect.
Uh-huh.
So a piece of content for you, we get so specific and you think that's too specific, who's going to resonate? But you make a piece of content that would say something like, you just get an argument with your partner about traveling plans because you're more loosey goosey and she's more, plan every minute.
Mhm.
And as you started to fight, you noticed yourself
Mhm.
getting into your head and wanting to defend yourself. Your heart starts pounding and you just want to be right. And every time you do that, the fight gets worse and you don't talk for 2 days. Blah, 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 right? See how specific I'm getting?
Mhm.
Next time that happens, I want you to try to first notice and create awareness. And then the second thing, whatever you would teach, right? You can teach your thing.
Yeah.
But some would go, fuck, that literally just happened last night. And right, I mentioned the basketball thing. Okay, maybe it wasn't about travel, but I got in a fight with my partner. I mean, we have fought about travel before, right? But there's going to be a few people out there, and this is the part of the relationship that I was talking about. There's going to be a few people out there who go, damn, spot on, Bunan, spot on. It happened last week. We were planning our trip, and I'm like, who cares? We'll just get to Madrid and then we'll find the restaurant. Like, let's just pick the one around the corner. No, I want to look at Yelp and I want to pick the perfect restaurant. And we got in this huge fight. Dude, that literally just happened. Probably going to happen again because we're going to Madrid in a month. So that's awesome. I'm going to use that tool. Thanks so much. Right? That's going to be so specific. Other people, not as specific, but they get in fights with their wives. They're going to be like, okay, this is good. I'm going to try this. And then guess what? Then you can give another example. I forget the other examples. I should wrote some stuff down. But even now, you said traffic was one too.
Yep.
Right? You can talk about what it's like to be in traffic.
Mhm.
And get more specific. When are they in traffic? On the way home from work? To work? Are they on the way home from work? Right?
Mhm.
Probably gonna be someone in traffic looking at their phone on Instagram. You're gonna pop up. Be like, are you in traffic and freaking the fuck out right now? Right? You don't have to swear. I'm obviously being me, but be yourself, right? Are you in traffic freaking out right now? Yep, that's me. They self-identify with that. They read the rest, or 3 tips to calm down during traffic so you don't go home and fight with your wife. Right now, that's a double thing. Like, right, getting specific, and not to say your relationship doesn't have to be your thing all the time. It's just, that's the example I'm flowing on. All right, people get in traffic, they get all worked up, then they walk through the door, and since they're already worked up, they're just fighting with their wife right off the bat. So if your post was, 3 ways to calm down in traffic so you can show up and have a pleasant evening with your partner. So specific. Somebody go, fuck, I want that. Or somebody's like, yeah, I fight with my roommate all the time. We're not dating, but it applies. Or they're on their way to work in the morning, and that annoying coworker comes up, and they're always like, just, it fires them up even more, right? They find themselves in these stories. And use that other one. You're in traffic and how, 7 a.m. traffic, and how to calm down in 7 a.m. traffic so your boss doesn't trigger you. You talked about bosses, right? So getting more specific now can allow us to really create that bond. And really, this is, I mentioned, this is like the educational content that we're used to, but just doing it a bit differently. What we'd also want to do is this connection down here, going deeper, like I mentioned before. But, as far as how to do content, give me one thing to focus on. That's a great way to do it. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it feels really good.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the framework for that.
Yeah. Awesome. Dave, I know you like this on Monday. You want some more of this?
Yeah, buddy.
All right. What is your one thing?
The more I hone in on it, it's got to do with anxiety and depression. And the thing I was just, as you're getting really, really specific, the issue, the pain point that came up is like looping thoughts, and the sort of like, you woke up at 2 a.m. and you just are trapped in this loop of whether it's anxious or depressive, but it's just, and you just keep replaying the scenario, replaying what you said, what they said, and just getting all wound up, and you're spiraling down or spiraling up and out, and it's this trap.
Yeah. Have you been in there before?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What woke you up at 2 a.m?
Money. There's a financial situation.
It wasn't too much of it, was it? I can help you with that.
Someone stole all my Bitcoin.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Trusted the wrong people. Not your keys, not your coins. So yeah, it was a significant amount of money, and so that had me waking up. If I could even get to sleep, had me waking up in the middle of the night, and sometimes for me it's about like the state of the world, and like this deep sense of, am I safe? Where I'm like, I know I'm like physically safe, and so some of these practices that Bunan is describing is like, okay, I can check around and I'm physically safe, but like the world does not feel like a safe place. The cosmos, I'm not sure that there's order within this chaos. And so there's like an existential dread that I'm familiar with, which then can take, like that's the sort of root of it. And then there's 1,000 different things that my clever brain can put in place for, is it money? Is it a relationship? Is it, whatever it can be, a minuscule thing. It can be the fly buzzing around the room, but it's coming from that root of existential dread.
So it sounds like, if I'm hearing you correctly, like sometimes you don't even know what it is.
Yeah. For my whole life, I've had this phrase, the cosmic sadness, where it's like, there's nothing, I can't put my finger on any particular thing that's making me sad or anxious, but man, is that feeling present.
Yeah. So I want to touch on something, because you've, saying cosmic sadness, and I kind of called out Bunan. I was like, don't say that. No one knows what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
there is a balance with that, right? You want to educate your audience. So you can use these words, right? I still want you to be you. So yeah, educate them, but don't use it all the time.
Right.
The example I would always give, personal trainer, do you want to increase your aerobic capacity? I'm like, nobody knows what that means, dude. Just say you want to run faster. But yeah, but you can also educate them on that's what that is. Right. And understanding again into your power. Right. And if you want to attract more of you, but they're, 5 chapters behind, you want to get them to where you are. They might be saying the same thing. They might be saying, I'm in this cosmic sadness. Or again, that could be your thing, right? To kind of pull from, like, do you feel this cosmic sadness? And when I talk about, I'll show you something. Did I do this on Monday for you, Dave?
I don't think so. I don't know.
So Liver King,
Right.
every time he shows up here, watch, he'll do it right here.
Oh,
It's muted.
primals want to know.
There you go. Right. You said it. Primals want to know. Watch this. Ready? No, he's just doing weird stuff.
Lurking here. I'm in a 30.
All right. Well, in other videos, he'll say
Primal.
primals a bunch
He's-
more, right?
He calls his people primals. Is
Yeah.
that the thing?
I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what it means to be a primal.
Right.
But if you show up and constantly say cosmic sadness, right? People start to know you. And then when people start to use your language to you,
Right.
you're onto something. People start going, Dave, I have this cosmic sadness. Please help me.
Yeah.
But they're using my terms, right? That's how you know. People on Liver King, right? You can see in the comments, primal Mike here, blah 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 blah.
Right. Right.
So there is a balance of this, and like, don't use too technical terms all the time. But yeah, you want to educate your clients as well.
And I wonder about that, like using a term that like is sort of evocative or mysterious, where it's like, I don't know exactly what he means by that, but I'm sort of drawn in by it, which I get is that feels like a risk relative to, do you want to learn how to run further, faster, right? There's the direct clarity of that. Like like how to make $5,000 next month. It's like, I know exactly what that post is about, and I'm either into it or I'm not. Whereas, something like, are you drowning in the cosmic sadness? Like, it's a more poetic thing that may really call to people, but it may just be nonsense.
Yeah. So I said this a few times, and I'll tell you a story. Maybe this will stick. When I was a CrossFit coach, we had one of the top CrossFit, they call them boxes, CrossFit box owners, come in and teach us for some coaches training. And it stuck with me so hard. He's like, and a lot of new coaches do this. Maybe when you start teaching a new thing, you like want to tell everyone everything about it, right? A lot of personal trainers will want to give all the cues, right? Tight core, neutral spine, knees out, weight in your heels, all this stuff. And the client's like, oh, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
He's like, remember, guys, our members are coming back next week and next week and next week and next week to the end of the year. And if you're doing your job right, they're staying here forever. We don't need to teach them everything today. Let's get really clear on one cue, right? And then if you talk about personal training, they call it triage. You take care of, or maybe like the medical term, like you take care of the most important thing first.
Yeah.
The most important thing is the spine, right? You fucking break your spine, you're in bad shape. We don't have to worry about the knees right now. The knees can take a little bit. We'll worry about that next week. Let's take care of the most important thing. Not that you have to deal with your content, but that's kind of your one thing, right? Like, let me do this, and then understand, cosmic sadness. And then tomorrow I'm going to say cosmic sadness in a different way. And then the next day I'm going to say cosmic sadness, and I'm going to explain what that means, right? That's the relationship I'm talking about, building on top of that. Because your followers, they follow you for a reason. They hit that follow button because they want more.
Yeah.
One post might have gotten them attracted to it. Maybe it was your bio, but ultimately they hit the follow button because they want more of it. So expect that they will see more of it, and that they're not going to buy from that one post. Maybe if your offers, if you have a $20 ebook or something, yeah, maybe. But I think what we're here to do as wellness coaches is to, in my experience and opinion, sell them a high ticket offer so we can give them everything they need so they can see a full transformation. So in that way, most people take that time to get to know you, get to know your content, see if it makes sense for them. And if it doesn't, good. It wouldn't be a good fit anyway. But if it does, awesome. I'm here for you. Here's the link. Right. So yeah, again, I can give you all these tips. Ultimately, I'd play with it. I don't know your audience. And I don't know how like evolved they are in there, or if it's like, a lot of my friends from New York City who don't talk about this shit. Right. If they were on this call, they'd be like, what are all these people talking about? Taking breaths? Like what? Breathe naturally my whole life. I'm not gonna focus on my breath. Right. But I know people I hang with, a lot of my followers, you guys that here, right? They understand that. So we can kind of talk on a deeper level. And that's part of the testing, see what's resonating.
Yeah.
And then I'll finish this and then I'll go back to you. Testing things in small ways. Right. So we had some of those ideas. Or Dave, even you, right? Do you wake up at 2 a.m. Because you just recently had like a financial loss? And then say the exact same thing, but instead of financial loss, don't change the whole subject or don't change the whole title. Just say like, you got in a fight with your partner, right? Whatever it is, pick a different topic.
Yeah.
People start resonating with. Wow. Relationships are really a really hot topic. People are really liking this. Well, do I want to be talking about relationships all the time? And if you don't, right, it's not letting the external world control you. If you don't want to be that person, don't do it. But at least now okay, relationships are important. I could talk about that once in a while. I really want to talk about is this, I already forgot what you said, cosmic loss.
Cosmic sadness.
Sadness, yeah. Right. So yeah, just keep pushing that up, and the people who want that will find you. So it's again, this is all right. It's all just balance and a play of this stuff. But if you can lean into your power, that's the content that's going to really stick out. And that's what's going to drive more of those high ticket sales, which again, in my experience, that's what we want. I'd rather work with 5 people for $2,000 and make 10 grand than work with 50 people for $100 and they kind of get a few tips from me. Right.
Yeah.
So are you good with ideas for content, right? You could talk about that cosmic sadness in a lot of ways. I'm sure waking up at 2 a.m. is not the only time.
Right.
Things.
Right. Yeah, totally. And that's just one example. And there's lots of times I think when people get caught in the loop, and so often like our people's lives are just one ongoing sort of loop in so many ways. And so for me, like, I mean, I think, honing in on that anxiety and depression piece is really crucial, because with something like Ayurveda and astrology, it literally covers every single aspect of life, and it's very, very broad. And so I've definitely struggled with this. Well, it's a little bit of everything for everybody, and that is not a good marketing strategy. But what I found, as terrifying as it has been, the more I've shared about my own mental health journey, that's been a real powerful accelerator. And people connect with it, and they want more of it, and it's sticky, and so just and I guess for me, like my own intellectual curiosity, one of the things that I've in the past like been striving for is never to say the same thing twice. Like I always want to be like, with a new bit of research and a new angle, and that as I'm getting into it, I realized like, oh, it would actually be okay if I gave the same presentation twice.
Yeah.
This is not the end of the world. It actually would be better perhaps. And so to like get myself to be willing to be repetitive, because I have this image of, if I just get on there every day and say the same thing every day, that's boring or repetitive, or I'm not smart or something like that. Whereas it's totally disconnected from the channels I follow, like Holistic Psychologist or like We the Urban posts some version of the same exact thing every single day, and I love it.
And you love it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. And I'll wrap it up here and then hand it back over to Michael. But that's exactly it. right? That's that repeating and being memorable. And oh damn, I just wanted to finish on a really good point and I lost it. I don't know. I've been there though, trying to think of new ideas, but it is the repeating. And I love what you said there. Like, I think that's what I was going to say too. It's the people you follow. Are you annoyed when they're posting some of the similar stuff? Like, no. I remember my point. This is what I'll wrap it up with. People are constantly evolving, just as you are. And I could give this presentation to you next month and you would have some mind-blowing thoughts. Because not only, I mean, you're a different person on May 15th than you are on April 14th, right? You're a different person. And it's likely you've been putting out content. So you're getting more clear. And I'll say something, you'd be like, oh, that's what you meant by that. Right. And I could continue to give that same stuff over and over. So understand that, one, your current audience is evolving with you. They're growing. Maybe they finally do the thing you told them to do. Take 3 deep breaths. They finally did it after you said it 9 times. And then, oh my God, now I want more of this. Or now I'm going to do anything he says. And hopefully our audience is growing. So you have new people who need to see that same stuff. So yes, repeating is super important. And then it's just easier. And that's kind of when you start to get the mastery too, because you start to understand, right? As the evolved version, we are evolved. We have knowing. We forget what it's like to be ourselves 3 years ago when we were struggling with this stuff. Sometimes I forget how hard it is to get on my camera and talk to the camera. I still mess up and I still stutter and I still have to redo stuff, but there's no fear behind it. I'm like, I just got something to say today. I kind of forget what that's like. Right. So to talk to people, to put out a different message and go and to work with people, I'm just so afraid. Like, I'm so afraid to like make this post. I'm like, please tell me, what are you afraid of? I don't understand. Afraid of judgment? I've talked about my divorce. I do weird shit. Last Easter, I like open mouth, haunched this chocolate egg. My brother was like, what are you doing, dude? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just being myself. Right. So I forget what it's like to be afraid and worried about the judgment. So it's good to talk to people and they say, I'm worried about the judgment. It's like, oh, let's address that. Let's make a piece of content on that. Cool. All right, Michael, over to you. Wait, before Michael, we good? We got content. We're ready to go. Everybody excited to post it? That's what I really want. Are you excited? Yeah. Boone, I didn't feel a lot of confidence over there. That hand raise. There we go. There it is. Spirit fingers. Okay. Michael, hit it.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. And yeah, as I really appreciate your approach to this from, again, really connecting to that voice that's yours, because that's where we feel the most fluid. That's where we also allow people to feel that they can connect to us. I put a link into the chat. Matthew does have a 1 week training that's going to be a drip campaign. So you can sign up. It'll be starting next Thursday. Click the link and there will be 3 different modules to that. And you'll get content throughout that week that will really help you land that next client. That is the theme of it, is getting that next client. The more information through the link. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody coming to this webinar today. Find My Zen's about to launch. We already are in a beta testing. We have marketing tools for facilitators. We allow them to create their business systems and support with really finding collaboration opportunities and the resources that are needed to both grow your business and just continue to love what you're doing, because we can so quickly fall out of love and just make it a business. And that's usually why we did not become entrepreneurs or solopreneurs in this space, and teachers and facilitators. But I really want you to look at it as that you are a solopreneur and that you deserve resources, support, and help. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you and look forward to seeing you guys again soon.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. Hey, if anyone follow me, I'd love to follow you back. I'd love to see the content you're posting. I'm always there for hit me up in the DMs. I will send you an audio message and I'll help you with content if you have questions. So yeah, I'd love to follow along and see your progress. So do
Perfect.
that and let's connect.
And all that information of Matthew's, his Instagram, his website, all that will be on his profile, which of course will be attached to the offering link. So you can go back to the Find My Zen platform to find out more information about Matthew, what he's got coming up, and all those good things. Thanks, everybody.
One success. I went from a personal to a creator account while we're sitting on the call here. So
Perfect.
we're rolling.
That's a win I like to hear. Awesome.
Take care.
What's up, Dave?
Thanks,
All right. Yeah,
everybody.